There's something that I take issue with that is a long-standing institution of a league we all know and love, the NFL. The draft, I feel as if there should be more agency amongst players in this. They should have more free will, if you will. What do y'all think? Am I tripping? What's going on?
Well, what's your premise behind it? Why do you think they should do that?
Just for the simple fact they essentially treat these players like damn near like chattel. You know what I'm saying? They can be bought, sold, traded, or done with as pleased by these owners, correct?
That's what the NFL is, though.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
not like the draft is something different.
I'm saying though, like, shouldn't there be something in place for these players to have more free will amongst over themselves?
No.
Basically, more ownership for themselves.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, how would that
Not
work?
in that scenario.
Right.
I don't believe in that scenario.
No.
How would that work?
How would that work? Okay, essentially, all right, you already know how we have cap room limits, right? Limitations. Well, teams that did shittier the year before would have exceptionally more cap room than teams that did better, right? So then they wouldn't just be able to throw money at the best players. So there'd be more incentive for these players to go to teams that are paying more rather than just, keep getting gobbled up by these teams in exceptional areas, like the Miamis, the LAs, the New Yorks, and whatnot. And so that way they don't have to go to places where they don't feel as if they would fit or things of that nature.
I think that's part of the game, and that's also a part of like your growing and learning process.
I mean,
as a player.
I mean, no, I get what you're saying, but I feel like they should have more choice in it. Kind of like I was saying when me and you were having a side conversation about this, the other day. It should be closer to signing day, like how it is in college football. Like, they have their top choices of where they want to go, and then they pick where they want to go.
But what would be that? Like, how would you distribute the best talent in the draft to go to? Like, how would you distribute the talent in the draft to go to a team that needs that talent?
Essentially, the quote unquote lesser teams, or what is the word I'm looking
Like,
for?
how the fuck would the Browns at 0-16 get anyone to sign to that team?
One, I feel like then they would have to give the player a better compensation package and then also hire a better staff. So then it would force these teams to actually do better instead of just hiring buddies and incompetent coaches and, things that we all complain about from time to time.
But you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry, and nepotism is always gonna be prevalent in a multi-billion-dollar industry.
That's very true, but I feel as if it would help discourage it. I mean, if you just want your team to be shitty because you want to hire your friend, then that's on you. Your organization is going to suffer because of that.
I think they're fine with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
then they'll just be shitty.
There's plenty of teams that are fine with that, I think. I mean, look no further than right here in Kansas City when you look at the Royals. They don't give a fuck if they're winning or losing.
Every
As long as
goddamn
they-
show, he has to bring up the rules.
I'm just saying. I mean, they don't care about winning. They want that bottom dollar.
When's the last time the Cardinals have won a World Series?
2011.
When's the last time we won a World Series? What was it? 2015.
15.
How many y'all got? That 2?
Does it matter?
We have more than double that. Triple
Were you
that.
alive for most of those?
I was alive for 2 of them, and I've been alive for 4.
Oh, he was alive for 2 of them.
4 different World Series
okay.
trips.
But they
4.
but they lost 2 of those.
Wow,
Yes.
so y'all 2-2, and we're 2-1, right?
1-1.
One and
Our
one.
management is kind of shit, though.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't, but I'm just saying this guy. Anyway,
I've seen literally 2 times as many more losses in the World Series and 2 times as many more wins in the World Series than y'all. So chill.
if they didn't have Madison Bumgarner, it'd be back to back. We already know that.
Big facts.
But it wasn't. Y'all got shitted on in that World Series.
But to get back to my original point before we got derailed, but I just feel as if these players have no say in where they go.
As they shouldn't.
Why?
Well, I mean, okay, hold on. Look at what John Elway did in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
He basically held the draft hostage and said he didn't want to play for the Baltimore Colts at the time.
Eli did the same thing.
Eli did the same thing.
Yeah.
Eli said, I ain't playing for San Diego, and they figured that shit out. Maybe people should actually take hold of what actual power they have of that shit.
But that's only for the players that are considered the best player in the draft.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like a player, like maybe if Dwayne Haskins, and this is completely hypothetical, like let's say he didn't agree with the way Dan Snyder does things in DC, right?
He could have said, "I'm not going to play for you."
But I'm saying, like, it's frowned upon. They would have slaughtered him in the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
That's something you got to deal with that.
but I'm saying, like, it shouldn't have to be like that.
Why?
Why?
Yeah,
Because
why?
you should have a choice. You make a choice.
Why?
You make a choice to where you want to work, right? Nobody put a
Okay.
gun in your head and was like, "Hey, you got to go work here." Right?
Okay.
It wasn't pre-chosen. It wasn't pre-chosen.
But if I'm
But I'm
getting
also-
paid millions
exactly,
of
I'm not getting paid
dollars
millions
to
of
get
dollars.
told
But
to go,
if
I'm
you
going
can,
wherever
if
I
you
want.
can get paid millions of dollars and choose to where you want to go,
Okay.
wouldn't you want that? Yes, you would.
That's
So,
not how that's not how life
it
works.
How come it doesn't? You can make it that way. You can literally make it that way.
If you want
you're
to
Bill
be a
Gates.
starting quarterback or a starter in the league, and you are considered a first round pick out of the top 10, we'll go first 10 picks, and you're considered a top 10 pick. Usually 10 of those guys are instant starters, or at least 5 of them are. So if you're considered one of the top 10 guys, you want to go somewhere where you can start right away and be that guy. You don't want to be Nick Bosa, who got drafted to the Patriots and isn't going to play for 3 years. You want to be a guy that can play right now and improve yourself.
Right. So this plays right into where I'm saying, right? So then because then they can go to these shitty teams where they know they'll start, right?
But that's part of the draft, though. Because
It's
there's
a part of their choice because then they have to make a hard choice between location and best opportunity to them, right? Right. So, okay.
I guess.
Ain't no I guess, goddammit.
So since one of the main, so you said you basically had an analogy that was real world based, right?
Yeah.
So I'll throw you one back.
All right.
The NFL owners are, you would say, the governing. You would agree that they're the
Yeah.
governing bodies
Yeah, they are.
of the league. Our governing bodies aren't going to do something that's going to empower us,
That's very true.
and I don't think the NFL governing bodies are going to do that. They're not going to give the players more power that they could have for themselves, which is going to equal more money.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's for the simple fact that once you get past the top 10 picks, I mean, you still got, however many teams left, and they still got to pick guys. And they're not going to let, a kid that's considered a mid-round starter, to decide, I don't want to play for you, I'll play for somebody else. No, you're going to play for us because this is where you fell to us at. And it just doesn't make any sense for a kid that's, 24th pick to get to decide from 24 to 30 where he wants to play. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and not even to mention, what have you done in the NFL? You literally have not gotten on the field and proved yourself.
That too.
The only thing, when we were having this discussion the other day, the only way I'm totally down for this is replace college football. Replace college football with a minor league system. Have your signing day, build them up just like baseball. Have at least a 2-year minimum. They're still getting paid. Have a 2-year minimum of being in this minor league system, and then move them up and call them up for whatever season, or just like how in baseball works. The Kareem Hunt thing. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs could have just brought up a running back from their farm system. I don't think that's an awful idea, but at the same time, the way it works right now in the draft, I'm for that. I think it's a good, because you're not going to be able to get people to go to these shitty places to play. You're just not.
If they can offer more, compensation wise, and also let them start, as opposed to being a backup and making less in a location that they desire, there's still incentive on both sides.
But then
right?
you're also doing something where you're playing with everybody else's money, and ain't nobody going to be for that.
And what if they're a flop anyway?
And especially in the NFL. You want to come
that's
in
a
and
debate.
tell me
That is
how I
debatable.
can spend my money? Mm-hmm. Fuck that. Nobody's going to be down for that.
Huh? That's what the cap. Isn't that what the cap is?
Yeah, but you're talking about changing the cap every year on every single other team based on performance instead of you're getting the 32nd pick. Well, now the Patriots, their cap space is going down every single year. Rather than, that's fucking dumb.
It's a balance of powers.
It is, but it's a silly way to do it. And not to mention, you're getting less money for winning. That's like the opposite of what should happen.
I guess, but wouldn't the owner wouldn't have no opposition to that? Not really. That's more money in his pocket, right? And that's what it's all about, the bottom dollar.
The owner wouldn't have an opposition to not drafting someone who could help their team further?
This is something that only the players would go for, and even then, I mean, I don't know. Especially those late round guys, I mean, nobody gives a fuck about you anymore, especially.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to be in Cleveland, or, I mean, Cleveland's gotten a little bit better, but you're going to be in these, Cincinnati, shitty places to play. Oakland, Miami.
Buffalo.
That's the main place I keep thinking about
Yeah.
every time. Why?
You going to join Bills Mafia. Don't nobody want that.
No.
So
I don't. That's just the whole thing.
it's just going to breed shitty teams. You're going to stay shitty. These teams are going to stay good.
Well, let me ask you this: what would be your end result of it? What would you hope it would bring to the NFL if that were to happen?
Mainly just a bit more power to the players, the lifeblood of the league. You know what I'm saying? They are the sole reason why we tune in. I don't give a damn about somebody's front office. I care about the players. That's who I want to see. These exceptional athletes on the field, right? And they're still possibly the lowest paid professional players in this country. Across the board, yeah.
NFL players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and this is the highest grossing league in the country, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just, I just want more for them. If it's not more money, then more agency over themselves.
If anything, they need more of is personal finance.
I mean that, but they also deserve more money too. All in all, to be honest, like they deserve more money.
Ray trying to get niggas paid. That's all Ray trying to do.
I agree though. I
Wait
think
for niggas getting paid 2020. Vote for me.
Ray niggas getting paid. That's what Ray trying to do. Ray trying to get niggas paid.
Pretty much.
I think they need to be paid more too, but I think there's a better way of doing it than destroying the draft process. I think the draft process is kind of fine where it is.
Well, and not to mention how much money the NFL would lose out on the draft weekend. And
Right.
literally something we just talked about last week about, different draft locations. So, you're definitely not going to be able to do that for a quote-unquote signing day for the NFL.
I mean, that's also true, and that would affect a lot of job loss because there's a lot that goes into, like, production teams and, camera crews and what have you. So, I mean, yeah, there is a caveat to it.
Well, and I mean, you could turn it into a bunch of different things, like with the signing day and have people there for everybody's
different
signings,
locations. But
is it really as exciting as the NFL
and
draft?
then also, it's not as cost effective because then you have one singular location. Then you have to plan the logistics. You have to put different camera crews in different parts of America like that.
And I don't think
that costs too much.
nobody wants to go sit or, go and watch the draft, like my man Randy said, go get drunk at the draft and watch motherfuckers negotiate contracts.
Essentially.
That's the last thing I want to watch.
Yeah,
besides golf.
Yeah, I don't think I would have wanted to watch the Chiefs trade up and hope Patrick Mahomes signed with them.
Because, I mean, like, yeah, because cities like ours would be a casualty of it all, too. Because what really draws a person to Kansas City? What would draw a person to Kansas City? Exactly.
I don't
Pat
know. I
Mahomes?
think our fandom would.
I feel you there because I definitely agree with you with the fandom and everyone that's played here. I mean, look at all of these different legends that come back and say, "Man, Kansas City was the best time I've ever had in my career."
Except for Tony Gonzalez, bastard.
All right, come on, cuz. Let it go.
No,
Let it go.
no, I'm not letting it go.
Like it's like
No.
every 2 episodes.
No.
Come on, bro.
I don't think with the Tony G thing it even matters because I mean we all know where he was when he was Tony G, and I mean I don't think he truly feels like that about his time with the Falcons.
Don't care. Don't say it.
Plus,
When I made my career, whatever.
plus, man, come on, cuz. Was you there when he was giving money to like disadvantaged kids? Shopping sprees. Like he would take 10 kids every Christmas, $500 a piece.
Hey,
That's love.
I just got to shout out Tony Richardson real quick for that because Tony Richardson was the best at doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Real shit.
And the greatest fullback of all time.
I remember him, Eddie.
Bullshit. He is the greatest
I didn't say he
fullback
wasn't.
of all time. This man said, hands fucking down. most 1,000-yard rushers behind him ever. Priest Holmes, Thomas Jones, I'm pretty sure, Adrian Peterson, 3 different guys.
I just wanted to
And
say it.
LaDainian Tomlinson, not to mention.
God damn.
I don't know of any other fullbacks that are that
bro,
great,
you-
honestly.
you
I
have
was
made
just
the
talking
case.
shit.
Exactly. Greatest fullback all time, T. Rich.
I mean, I can't name 5 other fullbacks to be
Yeah.
honest. So you kind of
Anthony
got that.
Sherman.
Michael Tolbert is better.
Damn.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, he didn't even say all stop, bro. He said Tolbert.
The Charger? Mike Tolbert?
Damn, bro.
No, okay.
Randy out here trolling again. Come on, man.
Like a motherfucker.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna let you have.
So basically, in closing, this is purely a spectacle for me. Like I'm just a hypothetical process I thought about, and I just want more power to the players. I feel like they deserve more power. They make these people all this money, and they have no agency. And it's almost like a metaphor for the American public. You know what I'm saying? Like we go taxed, and I feel like a lot of us don't have as much say as we deserve. You know what I'm saying? And we're literally the backbone of the country. So,
Yeah.
I just kind of got lost in my thoughts for a minute. So,
GameStop about to tax you for all the times you use their fucking tagline.
oh, shit,
Power
power
to the players.
Hey, please do not sue us. We have nothing.
I think the players got to quit letting the owners fuck them in the CBA too.
Facts.
That's
Yeah.
bro.
That's a big part.
The NFLPA,
Well,
they,
and-
they go out like bitches every time.
Not to
bro.
mention, they've already mentioned to players to brace themselves and get ready for a lockout in, is it 21 or 22, I think.
Jesus Christ.
But they said, yeah, don't play around with your money too much because we might not be playing.
Because they need to play hardball.
They do. And look at the outrage with the replacement refs. Imagine if we had if we didn't have Pat Mahomes out there on Sunday, we would freak the fuck out in Kansas City.
Good God.
You got a bunch of replacement people. Fucking Cincinnati's gonna be in the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Oh. Who's the backup for Mahomes right now?
Damn.
Exactly. I think. Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, these are 3 rabid Chiefs fans.
Jesus
I can't
No
think of,
idea.
can't think of his name.
Yo, on the
I
side
think he
note,
played for Miami.
Throw
I can't remember.
Sorensen in at quarterback. Maybe he could do something right at that
Hey, bro.
position.
Man, come on, cuz. Let it go. You about as bad as EDJ, man. Damn.
Nah, he works with the Swords.
You right. It's be starting to become like every episode thing, bro. Anytime Chiefs is brought up, fucking Sorensen.
Fucking Sorensen.
But no. On a side note, does anybody know where Blake Bortles went?
LA.
L.A.
Oh, that's
Backing
right.
up golf.
That's not bad. That's a decent position for him.
Probably
Should be
played
all
better
right.
in the playoffs than golf did.
Damn. Ouch. I mean, I'm not high on golf, and I'm still not saying that. Ow.
All right, but so kind of rounding this segment up, we just kind of thought it would be a really good debate of kind of what's your stance on the draft. Let us know. Comment on it. Are you pro draft or are you not for the draft?